So my last two videos have been about teams that have not been very successful in the last few months, Poland and Germany, but today we're switching it up and we're talking about a team that has been very successful in the last few months, being on top of their Euro qualifier group right now. Can you guess who it is? It's Scotland. We'll go all the way back to 2021, just at the end of the World Cup qualifiers, which Scotland did fail to qualify for. They finished second in their group, which is pretty good, but not good enough to get them into the World Cup. The first game after the World Cup qualifiers was Poland v Scotland. Poland do seem like the more favourite team to win. However, Scotland held on and it was a 1-1 draw, which is not the worst, I guess. But obviously, Poland, I expected more from Poland. Then the game after that, Scotland and Austria drew 2-2. I guess not too bad. I guess Scotland could be winning that, but nevertheless, decent result. And then there was a game against Ukraine, which they lost 3-1. Yeah. The Nations League followed, and Scotland weren't too ambitious in this, but they picked up quite a lot of decent, performances. They beat Armenia 2-0, not the worst, of course. They lost to Ireland 3-0. Okay, alright. They also beat Armenia the next game 4-1, while Armenia did get a red card. I mean, that's obviously very expected. Scotland off later beat Ukraine 3-0. I mean, a very good result. Ukraine are like kind of average team, so in Europe at least, so yeah. Scotland also then beat Ireland after and drew 0-0 with Ukraine. I don't know whether that put them in the Nations League group. To be honest, I don't care. Just before the UEFA Euro qualifiers, they did play a game against Turkey, which, I mean, that kind of ended in peril, where Turkey did win 2-1. You can expect that, but come on. Like, if Scotland want to be considered a great team, they cannot, be losing so many games. I mean, yeah, honestly. Now it's time for the Euro qualifiers. Let's go. The first game was Scotland v Cyprus, in their group. Obviously, this was a pretty standard win for Scotland against a country that has maybe a population of 2 million people. Scotland, John McGinn scores, obviously, the Aston Villa man, and then Scott McTominay in the 87th and 90+ third minute scores to crush Cyprus 3-0. And in the end, a Cyprus player literally gets a red card, so that was pretty useless, wasn't it? Just to quickly state that the teams in their group were Scotland, Spain, Norway, Georgia, and Cyprus. Let's continue. Against Spain, now nobody expected Scotland to win, but Scotland actually did it. The star man for Manchester United, Scott McTominay, the top G, him and Harry Maguire, carry Man United, and Scott McTominay does carry Scotland. Scotland easy W v Spain 2-0. Scott McTominay with 2 goals, which meant 5 goals in the first 2. No, sorry. 4 goals in the first 2 games of the Euro qualifiers. I remember he was excellent. Next game, matchday 3, was Scotland v Norway. Scotland currently sat first in the group at the time of this game, and it was a pretty close 0-0 game at the 61st minute. But Erling Haaland got a penalty, and we all know what Erling Haaland can do with a penalty. Easy conversion, bang, 1-0 to Norway. Now Scotland looked like they lost hope, it wasn't really their game. They were probably going to lose out on that first spot. But suddenly, out of nowhere, Lyndon Dykes in the 87th minute and Kenny McLean in the 89th minute score to make it 2-1 for Scotland. W Scotland right now is all I'm thinking, Next game is Scotland v Georgia, the weakest team in their group, and of course this was a routine 2-0 when Scotland pretty much dominated the game. I mean, if you count in terms of possession, it was 52% for Scotland, 48% for Georgia, so pretty even. Georgia did have 9 shots, none of them on target, to Scotland's 14 shots. But what separated them was the sheer quality of Scott McTominay. And there was another game against Cyprus, as this was now the 5th match day. And Scotland pretty much dominated this exactly like the first game. 14 shots compared to Cyprus's 5. However, Cyprus did have less shots, but more on target, with 60% of their shots being on target. Possession kind of controlled by Scotland. And Scott McTominay scored in the 6th minute Then we have Ryan Porteous scored in the 16th minute. And Aston Villa man George McKinn scored in the 30th minute. So this game was over by the 30th minute, basically. And now, the most recent game is not a Euro qualifiers, it's just a friendly versus England, where Scotland v England on the 12th of September. So, we obviously expected England to win this. Phil Foden in the 32nd minute scores, then Jude Bellingham follows up, which Jude Bellingham this season, excellent player, I have to say, sadly. I did want him to flop. Oh well, what can we do? And Scotland didn't even score. A Scottishman didn't even score. It took Harry Maguire to score an own goal in the 67th minute. To even get a goal. At that point it was 2-1, but Harry Kane finished it off in the 81st minute. And it was a comfortable win for England, 3-1. Now the remaining games are against us. The next games are against Spain on the 12th of October, which is a few days away now. Guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.